Hi friend, James Blacker here, founder and author of Kissing Consciousness. And as well as sharing my own insights and wisdom, I also like to share other people's, and I've picked up quite a library in my head of wisdom quotes over the last few decades. And so today I'd like to share with you what I consider to be the top 10 most powerful wisdom quotes that I've ever come across from anyone at any time in history. And these are going to be across the four main areas of life. So that's your inner world of emotions, emotions, psychology, thoughts and feelings, your physical body and your health. The third one is your relationships. And fourth is prosperity and creativity and money and all those kind of things. And in particular, what I'm hoping for here is that one of these will pop for you to really inspire you and make your day so that you are glad that you heard it. So let's get straight into them. The first one, Gabrielle Roth, the founder of 5 Rhythms, asked, "Do you have the discipline to be a free spirit?" What a wonderful quote, such a paradox. And it's interesting how many of these really powerful quotes sound like paradoxes. And she actually adds to that discipline is like a springboard and control is like a cage. Number 9, this is a quote by a friend of mine, David Hurd, who is a trainer of elite athletes and also founded the National Rehabilitation Centre for the Paralysed. He said, "No pain, no gain is a no-no. Pain is the body's signal that something is wrong. So no pain, no gain was always going to be a dodgy premise." And from that, I also learned from him the art of listening to the body, where he teaches that you pay attention to what's going on. It's kind of like you're reading the runes of your own body, as a car mechanic would pay attention to a car engine, or indeed all of the working parts of a car. So it's not about forcing yourself to do something. It's about listening and responding to what's good for you rather than going down the road of pain. Number 8, this quote is on relationships and comes from the late great Levenson, when he said, "Want for the other person what they want for themselves." And that really is the basis of harmony in relationships, that if you want for other people something different to what they want for themselves, then you make yourself their enemy. And so, as I say, that's the basis of harmony in relationships. Number 7, Paul McKenna said, "Money is one of the rewards you get for adding value to the lives of others." I particularly wanted to include this quote because of the importance of adding value. If you're looking for a successful, happy life, then the practice of adding value to other people is really high up there on the importance list of things that are going to help you have a happy and successful life. Number 6, Dr. Robert Holden said, "Unhappiness comes from sitting on the gifts that we have." So this is a shout out to our potential, that we are unhappy if we don't allow ourselves to engage with that potential, but instead sit on it and repress it and not allow it to see the light of day. Life wisdom quote number 5 is from Rikka Zimmerman, and she said, "What if you can trust you, but you can't trust belief systems?" And this is really a nod generally to the principle that awareness trumps belief systems, that belief systems can catch us out and shut down our awareness if we allow them to. And actually, therefore, this quote, in essence, is the basis of conscious living, although it sometimes gets confused with beliefs that feel like they're related to conscious living. It's actually the awareness rather than the beliefs which are the actual basis of a conscious living practice. And number 4, the late Debbie Ford said, "Your life will be transformed when you make peace with your shadow." And so this is the Jungian shadow, which is the essence also of what Kissing Consciousness does, which is to release those blocks to anywhere where our true self, essentially. The shadow is that part, that baggage, the subconscious, where we have to store anything that's true about ourselves, any part of our personality that isn't allowed by the people of the society around us. And so sometimes we find when we hit adulthood that we can realize that's what's happened, and start the process of reclaiming that shadow material and reintegrating those aspects of our true personality and our potential that have been denied to us. Wisdom quote number 3 is back on the topic of body wisdom for body and health, and I'm not sure why this isn't right at the top of my list. This is Don Miguel Ruiz, and his saying is, the needs of the mind are not the needs of the body. If the need for food is in the mind, if the need for sex is in the mind, you cannot satisfy the need. So if the need for food or sex is in the mind, then you aren't going to satisfy that need with food or sex. And he goes on to explain that we need to separate into 2 parts. These are the needs of the mind, and these are the needs of the body. And so that's essentially that's part of the system of body wisdom. If you start by listening to your body, then follow on to the next step, which is to differentiate between these 2 needs, the needs of the mind and the needs of the body. Wisdom quote number 2 is David Hurd again. So I'm obviously biased towards my friends, and this is a particularly important one, so this is why I think it's so high. You have to be as true to yourself as you possibly can be. There's a very straightforward, simple quote, but incredibly important and top priority. And number 1 goes hand in hand with that, really, and it's by the poet Rumi, when he said, "Your task is not to seek for love, but merely to seek and find all the barriers within yourself that you have built against it." Fantastic quote from Rumi there. Everyone seems to love Rumi, and I hope 1 or 2 of those popped for you. They gave you some inspiration that you can take on into the future. And if you enjoy that kind of wisdom quote, and you ever feel that you would like to dive deeper into those kind of essences, then I'd like to offer you something special, which is a report I've created for the top 10 life skills for an amazing life. So again, across all 4 of those areas of your inner world, your body, your relationships, and your finances, I've created what I consider to be the top 10 life skills that you can apply for success in all of those areas. So there's 2 skills for each of those 4 that I've mentioned, plus another 2 that are universal. So they apply to all 4 of those areas of life. And so if you'd like that for free, you can get that. Just go to kissingconsciousness.com/top10 and receive that with my compliments. Hopefully that can give you even more inspiration and get things going for you. And I think it's quotes time. If you enjoyed this video, I've got a feeling there'll be a few more this month. So please do look out for them, and I'll see you again soon.